Hello there. Now you may remember a few videos ago I did a Lego haul. I bought some Lego from a friend. Now unfortunately in that huge selection of fantastic Lego there was a bag of fake Lego minifigures. And by now you should know that I do not approve of fake Lego minifigures. So I asked you how I should destroy them. I had several interesting responses. Firstly, I'd like to address the response that a lot of people gave, which is you should donate them to a charity shop. Now, in theory, I see where you're coming from. Obviously, I don't believe in just kind of destroying things for the sake of it, but this is a different kettle of fish. These are counterfeit toys, okay? They're not actually CE marked, which means that they're not actually allowed to be sold in the European Union. So it would be illegal to sell these to children and potentially unsafe because children's toys have to go through some rather strict testing before they're considered safe to use for children. So I guess that includes things like making sure that the composition, the plastic, is safe for children to stick in their mouths or whatever, making sure it's not so brittle that it will fall apart, and then kids could swallow the pieces and hurt themselves. So, these haven't been tested. They're not safe to give to children. They're not legal to provide to children. So I will not be taking them to a charity shop. But I did have several other suggestions. The first suggestion, which we had from a few people, was to freeze the Lego minifigures. I guess this is a bit like sticking Han Solo in carbonite, isn't it? So anyway, I did that. I had a little fake Yoda minifigure, stuck him in a bowl of water, stuck him in the freezer for 12 hours, and actually this is the result here. We've got a fantastic bowl of frozen water. It's cold. I don't know why that's surprising to me, but it is. Full of ice, and you might be able to see just down here a little Yoda minifigure. Now, I don't know what you were expecting to happen with this, but it's not that exciting. It's just a bowl of water with a minifigure in it, and it hasn't harmed the minifigure at all. I'm pretty sure that when the water melts, the minifigure will be fine. The other thing is, it was actually more complicated than it should have been, because it turns out minifigures, or even fake minifigures, float. Maybe this is a bit like that test they used to do to see if women were witches. Maybe if a minifigure floats, it's fake, and if it sinks, it's real. Or maybe not, maybe that's rubbish. But anyway, you can see Yoda here sort of half sticking out of water, half not. His little feet are hanging out of the edge there. His lightsaber, which he appears to just be holding the blade of the lightsaber, not the hilt of it. So that's pretty unsafe, I would say. That's pretty well out of the water. But he's just underneath the surface there, frozen. I'll just leave him there melting, and hopefully I won't leave it there so long that the water all comes out and destroys my laptop. So that was the first suggestion. The second suggestion, which I got a lot of, was why don't you crush the Lego minifigures? That's a really good idea. Many people said I should use my car. I'm not going to drive over these in my car, because what happens if I break the tyres? I don't really fancy going to the tyre repair place saying, oh yeah, I drove over a load of fake minifigures and burst my tyre, can you fix it please? So I wasn't going to do that. So I got in contact with the Hydraulic Press channel. Yeah, that's actually what it's called. They've got 2 million subscribers. Anyway, I thought, it's a long shot, but I'll contact them. So I sent them an email and asked them if they would like to squash my fake Lego minifigures on their channel. To my surprise, they did actually email back the next day. They basically said, thanks for getting in touch. By complete coincidence, we're actually uploading a video today in which we squash fake and real Lego. I'll leave a link to that video down below. It's quite interesting to see how the Lego compares, but it's not exactly what I wanted them to do. I wanted them to squash minifigures, which I think is more interesting. And because I don't own a hydraulic press, it's not something that you just have hanging around, is it? I've got no way of squashing these. So perhaps you might have an idea on how I can do it. Perhaps you could get in contact with the Hydraulic Press channel, tweet them or something, or send them a message, try and get them to squash my Lego minifigures. These are desperately in need of squashing. Now, the third way that people wanted me to destroy the minifigures is quite violent. And I just want to put a warning, a disclaimer at the beginning here. Unless you have adult supervision, you are definitely not to do what I'm about to do. It's actually so stressful that it's giving me indigestion. What I'm about to do could be really quite unsafe, so please do not do it. But basically, you all wanted me to burn the minifigures. I think maybe you're all secretly sort of pyromaniacs, because that was a pretty recurring theme. Lots and lots of messages just saying burn them, send them to the fiery pits of hell, etc. Thinking about it, maybe they were figurative rather than literal. But anyway, so I had to get my hands on a way of burning them, because I'm not just going to sit there with a lighter or trying to strike a match and holding it against a minifigure, because that would be crap. So I had to get a blowtorch. So this is my blowtorch. It's basically, I'm saying basically a lot, it's ostensibly, and that's better, a big lighter. So it's filled with lighter fluid. Now, I'm not going to burn the fake Lego minifigures indoors. That would be incredibly unsafe. The fumes that the plastic could give off could be potentially toxic, and it just could set alight to my home and destroy everything in it and kill me. So I'm not going to do that. But I am just going to demonstrate how this works. So there's a little gas nozzle at the top. Bit scared of this, to be honest. You can hear the gas. And then you turn off the gas like that. That's quite a small version of the flame. Can go up quite a bit more than that. So I've got this C3PO or 3PCO minifigure, because it's fake. I'm going to take this into the garden. So say goodbye, little fake minifigure. Bye-bye. I'm a little bit apprehensive, but anyway, here we go. Oh my god, it's actually... Oh, he's on fire! Oh, that's actually more impressive than I thought it was going to be. He's kind of on fire and melting. Oh, he's very on fire. He's very on fire. Let's just leave him to basically burn into toxic flames. Let's get a close-up. I wonder if this is what would happen if you burnt real Lego, or whether this is just the result of using fake Lego. That's absolutely amazing. How does he look from the back? Oh, his trousers are alright, but his torso is pretty well a charred mess, isn't it? Wow. Didn't take much actual creme bruleeing, did it? I should mention that that's actually a creme brulee torch. Oh, he's fallen over rather unceremoniously. Look, he's burning for quite a long time. Quite impressive, really. If you need to heat your home, maybe you could buy a van load of fake Lego minifigures? Okay, this is a little bit boring now. He's just a smouldering mess of hot molten plastic. How do I put this out? Oh, I think he's almost finished. I should mention this isn't my patio, and I'm possibly going to get into a bit of trouble for having done this. Whoops. It's actually burning for a really long time. Looks like hot molten lava. Also looks a little bit like an asteroid has hit the ground as well, because of the wind direction, sent all the soot in one direction. If you had a box of these inside and they set alight, you would be in serious trouble, I can tell you that now. And that's it. It's out. So now it sort of looks like a flattened, charred C3PO. So I'm back in from the garden. Well, I'm not really. The wonder of editing is that I can film this before I go in the garden and then put it at the end. I suppose I've just really ruined Christmas by doing that, haven't I? Anyway, can you think of any other ways of destroying Lego minifigures? Let me know down below. Please encourage at least one of the hydraulic channels to try and squash my Lego minifigures, otherwise we're never going to see them squashed. Here is a selection of really interesting and relevant videos, which I think you'll enjoy if you enjoyed watching this one. Do subscribe, and I shall see you next time for another video.